Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. We're continuing our reading of the Fatwas of Imam al Albani regarding fiqh, creed, and transactions. Got some chicken in the oven and it smells good. The little ones are playing, so let's read while we can. We are in the book of criticism. MashaAllah. Now, the way the format goes in this book is question, answer. Some answers are longer than others, so that's what the format is. Let us begin. Question: what do you think of Tafsir al-Manar by Rashid Rida? Answer: Rashid Rida was a Muslim academic and politician. His book Tafsir al-Manar is generally a good book. It tackles many contemporary problems that face Muslims today, and it constitutes many social, political, and historical research topics, which are not found in other books of interpretation, which are known already, not to mention the new ones. At the same time, however, it includes deviation from the path of Sunnah, especially when he discusses issues related to a hadith regarding Isa Jesus, the Dajjal, and the Mahdi. Many of his fiqh rulings contradict the true path, and he apologized and retracted some of them. Okay, so many of his fiqh rulings contradict the Sunnah. So his fiqh rulings, it appears to me that everyone keeps talking about how difficult fiqh rulings are. It's quite scary to think that there's such an argumentation. The number one topic I hear people fighting about is fiqh. It's fascinating. Wonder why. So, hadiths regarding Jesus, the Dajjal, and the Mahdi. And that is Rashid Rida. Never heard of that person. Question: what kind of books does your eminence recommend for a beginner to start with his education in religion? Ooh, let's see. Okay. Answer: we recommend that he reads some jurisprudence books such as Fiqh as-Sunnah by Sayyid Sabiq. Okay, let's put a bracket around that. And referring to some references for more explanations such as Subul as-Salam, Tamam al-Minna, and Al-Rawda an-Nadiyah. Regarding the interpretation of the Quranic verses, one should read Tafsir al-Quran al-Azim by Ibn Kathir. Okay, at least that's... See, I know Ibn Kathir, right? At least I recognize that one. Though it is relatively long, it is one of the best books of interpretation ever written. Regarding admonitions and exhortations, one could read Riyad al-Salihin by Imam Nawawi. Ha, yay! I know Riyad al-Salihin. I've heard of Imam Nawawi. It's always nice when you hear the names and you're like, okay, you should know what to put in the search bar. And because of that, you hope there'll be English translations. As for the books pertaining to Islamic belief, one could read Shar al-Aqidah at-Tawawiyah by Ibn Abi Aziz al-Hanafi. I think I have that. With my explanation and commentary. Oh, I don't know if it has Albani's commentary though. A beginner should also get himself used to reading Imam Ibn Taymiyyah's books. I have a couple of him that I want to do on the channel, but I've had them for a while, but I'm not going to start them until we bust some others out. And the books of his student Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, rahimahullah. Okay. I put an annotation next to that so we can use it as a reference for later. Maybe you've already read those books. Awesome. Whom I think of those Islamic scholars who follow the path of the righteous predecessors regarding jurisprudence, joined with piety and of righteousness in a magnificent way. We praise none but Allah the Almighty, and that is As-Salah number 5, Q1, page 59, 1413 Hijrah. Okay, the next question. What is your opinion regarding the two books of Tafsir, one of the meanings of the Quran, Fath al-Bayyan and al-Manar? Okay, so I remember the last one he just talked about al-Manar. Answer: Tafsir al-Manar is better Then Tafsir Fath al-Bayan for the former discusses many problems which face Muslims today in the form of social, political, and historic research topics, the like of which are not found in any of the other modern well-known books of tafsir. This is due to the vast political knowledge and awareness of its writer, Rashid Rida. So here we're learning that Rashid Rida clearly has a lot of political knowledge. So that's interesting because you'll see people say, like, you don't need to pay attention to anything else, but clearly when you have some real-world knowledge and a wide range of knowledge in general, you're able to utilize that more and just how you perceive the world, as long as you understand, you don't adopt it, but you're able to understand and comprehend more complex statements and philosophies and just how you would go about answering certain people who make objections and whatnot. One of the Muslim politicians. There is, however, some diversions from the right path in many issues which he discusses in his books, such as the hadith concerning the advent of Isa Jesus, the Dajjal, and the Mahdi. However, he apologized and retracted some of his verdicts related to wearing caps and certain styles of European dress. Hat? I mean, a hat is it's a baseball cap. You go to a game, get that sun under your eyes. Cowboy hat helps keep the dust out. A nice pretty sun hat so the sun isn't bearing down on you and you're just like, The rice paddy hat where you really, like the Chinese wear, it's like very angled, helps keep a lot of shade. Or if you're playing golf, you gotta have a hat, I mean, really helps. Question: is the ascription of Miraj Ibn Abbas to Ibn Abbas authentic? This book should not be ascribed to Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu. I have already talked about Ibn Abbas' ascension, Miraj, in my book Difa an al-Hadith an-Nabawi wa Sirah, defending the prophetic hadith and Sirah, refuting it in Dr. Bhutti's opinions regarding this point. Interesting. Okay, so we have a title of his book, Difa. Okay, so defending the prophetic hadith and Sirah. Alright. Now we're in the section clothing and adornments. Question: what is the ruling regarding women cutting their hair? Answer: to give a ruling for such a matter, one should look at the purpose of such an act. If a woman cuts her hair just to imitate the disbelieving women, then her action is not permissible. If she cuts her hair to make it shorter or to gain her husband's satisfaction, then it is permissible. It is narrated in Sahih Muslim that women during the time of the Prophet ﷺ used to cut their hair to make it grow better. I mean, you have to trim the ends off. They're gonna get raggedy. You're gonna get split ends. So you gotta trim it up the bottoms and make it look nice. When you get some of those old grandmas, my grandma still has really long hair, very long hair, and my great grandma still has long hair, but and sometimes the religious communities of the Mormons and the Christians, when those grandmas get old, they do that old grandma hairstyle. It's like fluffy, And some moms, when they have kids, they shorten their hair. Just because when you have really long, pretty hair, longer to dry, shampoo and condition it, put your hair oil. I mean, your husband loves it, I have long hair. But, those Cersei Lannister after the shame walk type of haircuts can sometimes feel very appealing when you have to take a shower and hurry and you're just emotionally drained, But he has a point about his hairstyles, right? There was some of my friends got the hair cut short in the back. They have long hair, but they got like this much short in the back with a fade because it was a style. So I can understand his point on certain styles of cutting the hair, right? So I mean, like my mom now, she cut her hair short. She got a pixie cut. So women love expressing themselves through hairstyle, and sometimes when women are depressed, they'll give themselves bangs. Question. Okay. A seeker of knowledge inquires, saying, many school students inquire about the ruling of shaving one's hair or cutting one's hair. They become hesitant when the school orders them to shave their heads or cut their hair, while some religiously committed teachers we praise none above Allah, leave their hair long, take care of it, and clean it and comb it. Seeking the help of Allah, I say, leaving one's hair uncut is a sunnah, as Imam Ahmed rahimahullah said. It is sunnah. Had we had the ability to take care of it, we would have left our hair uncut. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah said in Zad al-Ma'ad, it is not recorded that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to cut it except when he was in a state of ihram. Interesting. So, tighten it up. A little trim don't hurt nobody, but long beards do look better than short beards, in my personal opinion. Like Gandalf the Grey beard looks awesome. Many authentic ahadith describe the shape of the Prophet ﷺ hair, as is mentioned in Al-Mughni. It is recommended that one's hair should be in the shape of that of the Prophet ﷺ. If it is to be uncut, then to the shoulders. Like the Khal Drogo hair looks nice, or when Jason Momoa has his hair like to here. Just some men really just look good with some nice, or Uhtred Ragnarsson, he played the Viking, right? So it can look nice on some men. Bald, my husband shaves his head and has a beard, but he has brown skin, so it looks really nice. Like Latinos and black men look really good with shaved heads, but not necessarily white guys, because they look like skinhead peckerwood Nazis. So it's not really the same, in my opinion. Or they look sick, or they're gothic. My philosophy professor had a shaved head, and he was a bit nihilistic, wore a turtleneck. He was a good teacher, but it just looks different on white guys. He was Polish. So it's fascinating when you just think about hair in general. So we have here, notice we have the question for women's hair, now we have it for men's hair. Very interesting. So to the shoulders, still quite handsome. Especially if you have brown skin, I'd argue. And shiny, healthy hair, with like Moroccan argan oil in it. So, very nice. If it is cut, then to the earlobe. Okay, so to the earlobe. So earlobe, shoulders. One is permitted to leave it uncut. This is also Ahmad's opinion. Man, some men do, like some of the tribal men of the Native Americans, look good with longer hair, Long hair is not necessarily feminine. Some people mistake that. They think you gotta cut it, So he's gonna give a couple more answers here and all that good stuff. In my opinion, not cutting one's hair or cutting it has its prerequisites. 1. Sincerity towards Allah and intending to follow the Prophet's Sunnah. 2. One must not resemble women in the way they style their hair. Okay. Yeah. Not to resemble the people of the scripture, or idolaters and deviants, such as artists, singers, actors, athletes, or those who follow their footsteps. One must take care of one's hair, wash it and comb it frequently, and it is recommended to scent it, oil it to part it from the middle. In case it is very long, one should preferably braid it. This is beautiful, right there. Exactly. Yes. I make the hair oil with olive oil. I have different bottles of scents. You put a couple drops in there, shake it up. Yeah, just every time after I do wudu, put it on. I mean, olive oil is wonderful for that. Organic, imported, extra virgin olive oil. You could try coconut oil, but when it's in its hard form, you have to melt it and then do it. And then the coconut oil naturally smells there. Moroccan argan oil is my favorite, but it's very expensive now. Tiny bottle is, it's very expensive. It smells like vanilla. But you can do plenty with olive oil. So scenting it is wonderful. And if you're a man, you can get some scents like cedar, oak, pine, tobacco. It's not real tobacco, but it's like a tobacco, wood, leather. Smells just quite wonderful. Because you don't want to smell like dandruff. You don't want to smell like old man sweat. And to braid it, that's just extremely handsome. Nothing wrong with... And men, when you say braid, like, think about Vikings. I mean, he says here, don't do like the pagans, but I'm just trying to give you a visual. Some men think that if they braid it, they're going to look like trans or whatever, but that's just not the case. You got a nice body, that there's something visually... Tons of women could argue this. Like, where just a man who's in shape and has long hair and he may have a piece of it braided, you know, there's nothing feminine about that at all. You know, Khal Drogo. Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah, stated 4 purposes that stand behind cutting hair. Cutting the hair for a necessity, such as after performing Hajj, or Umrah, or for treatment. It is legal and affirmed in the book, the Holy Quran and Sunnah, and there's no doubt about it. If none of the above mentioned necessities is present, then it is either one of these 2 cases. Okay, so we'll pause there, because he goes on longer, and this is a good spot to pause. So again, a lot of requirements here, so you have to have sincerity towards the law. Don't make it look like a woman's. You don't want to look like the people of the scriptures, or idolaters, or the kafirs, basically, or the kuffar. Sorry. You want to make sure you scent it, tend to your hair nice, so hygiene. Very nice. You know, this is interesting because if you're a black man, you have dreads, you know, keep your dreads really nice. You know, it's nothing worse than someone who doesn't have nice dreads, but someone who has like long, like well kept, scented dreads on black men is just, it's quite impressive. I remember there was a video of a black guy. He was a bodybuilder. He went to China, and he had his dreads really nice and was walking through. You could probably find it on the internet, but he looked it was impressive. You know, dreads look great when they're taken care of. One of my brothers, for now, it's a fade, but he has like a natural black man's fro, because he's half black. All my siblings are half black, except for my half Cuban sister. We all have, on my mom's side, got all different dads. On my dad's side, we all got different moms. So, we're all different. But, actually, 2 of my brothers, yeah. One on my dad's side and one on my mom's side, both my black brothers, they rock a natural fro with curl, and it looks really nice. If they ever got dreads, I hope that they would do it nice, because dreads really have a certain style, and when they're well kept, it's just very eye-catching. So much knowledge here. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I liked it. You never know what's going to come up. And the more Islamic knowledge we gather, the better we do it as Muslims. So, if you'd like to join my blog, it's www.subscribestar.com/MilahanArchive. Hope to see you there.